Laverne Muhammad grows her own plants at home using rocks and sand.
The whole concept is really intriguing. I mean, when you think about it first, you say, is that possible?
All the way out. There you go.
A free geological agriculture workshop being tested by Fulton County proved to Laverne it's possible.
It's like it's happening right in front of your eyes where you are actually growing food from rocks and sand.
If it grows in soil, it likely grows stronger and less expensive in gravel.
Richard Campbell invented and patented the no soil or fertilizer planting technique after an accidental discovery.
We didn't seek out to create a science to feed people. My uncle dropped some watermelon seeds in a bed of rocks, and out popped a watermelon.
A book and a growing company later, Richard now travels the country sharing gravel-based planting practices. Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington learned about the program at a conference in Washington, D.C. and wanted to test it out to help reduce the food desert problem in Fulton County.
Hundreds of convenience stores, right? But not a lot of places to go get fresh produce. Instead of just providing people with groceries and fruits and vegetables, this is a way to teach them how they can grow their own fruits and vegetables indoors during the winter without getting their hands dirty.
A pilot program is now in phase 2, and workshops now extend to 6 locations.
That's from the broccoli sprouts to the beans to the corn to the squash to the watermelon. They're going to their hardware store, they're getting their rocks. Some people are going down to their local river where they live and getting that rock.
It's so simple because it's not like you have to be a rocket scientist to learn gardening. You know, just get your rocks and your sand and your water and your seeds and you're good to go.
One scientific discovery is giving the phrase a whole new meaning, and here to explain how people could start growing vegetables without any soil at all are Richard Campbell. He is the founder of ToSoilLess, and also Professor Zena Clardy from Tennessee State University is here too. Welcome to you. Good to see you all.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so what we're talking about is, you don't need any soil anymore. This is just blows my mind. It sounds like something from outer space. But you actually came up with this, you founded this whole idea?
Yeah, basically about 20 years ago, my uncle asked me to come out and explain a phenomenon in the yard. And what we saw was a watermelon plant growing out of a gravel bed designed for weed block. He says, Richard, what is this? What's happening here? I said, well, it looks like it's possible that the rocks may be supporting this watermelon to grow. And right then and there, gravel gardening was born. For 15 years, we started to do this in our home garden in Nashville, Tennessee. And about 5 years ago, we started to study this closer.
And what is your background? What is your area of expertise in?
I'm actually an MBA, management consultant.
So not gardening, not agriculture.
Gardening, not agriculture.
But they were asking you for answers.
Asking me for answers. Go figure it out.
All right, so Richard, you brought some plants here to show us, and some pebbles?
Some gravel, river pea gravel.
What are we looking at here?
Well, basically, you're looking at plants that were planted from seed within the past week, pretty much. These were all planted within the last week. Those are microgreens, savory mix. These are marigolds. We have peas. We have sunflowers. We have
So we're not
corn.
just talking about a little tiny weedy kind of things. We're talking about vegetables
Yeah.
and fruits, things you can actually
fruits,
eat.
Sprouts, absolutely.
Wow.
A lot of these things right here, these microgreens, you can cut them and eat them right now. These are designed to grow a couple inches and then eat right out of the pot.
How nutritious are they?
Oh, very. Microgreens are one of the more nutritious types of food. A couple studies have shown that. And the reason this works is that the rocks have the nutrients in it already.
Wow. Zena, I think I've seen maybe moss growing on a rock.
Yeah.
Probably the only thing I've seen like this. Is this so much different from that concept?
Yeah, this is kind of revolutionary. Normally we grow from soil, but we know the earth is small and it's getting smaller, and so we need to find alternative ways and methods to grow in. So rock is a good idea. It's plentiful and you can find it in different places to support life.
Do you need to use a special kind of rock or gravel to make this work, or will it work with any rock?
I'll let Richard answer.
Well, not any rock. We have found that sedimentary rock. There are three types of rock on the planet. Sedimentary is the one that comes from the waters, the rivers, lakes, and
Igneous.
oceans. And metamorphic.
Metamorphic.
You
I
got
remember
it.
it.
You got it. Well, it's the sedimentary brand of rock, or the kind of rock that the planet produces in water naturally, that is made up of the sediment of the sea and then falls down and fossilizes on the earth. Well, when you add water to these rocks, add some water to this, out comes plant food.
Because it was in the sea?
Because it was in the sea and made up of the sediment of the sea.
So that is the key there.
That is the
There's
key.
nutrients on that rock.
There's nutrients in the rock all the way to the core.
Wow. When did you come up with this concept? How old is this?
Well, we figured it out that it's possible back in '94, but it was about 5 years ago when I stumbled on the sedimentary aspect and then started to put two and two together. That it leaches out potassium, one of the main ingredients for plant growth.
And I love the fact that it grows so quickly. You said these are just a few days old, and
Oh
look
yeah,
at them popping up.
this was planted on Friday from seed.
Wow.
Now we use Fiji water because Fiji is a quicker growing water for plants and stuff.
You're talking about bottled water?
Bottled Fiji, just for this inside stuff.
It couldn't be any other bottled water? It has to be Fiji
Well,
water?
a friend of mine, Jason Turner, his son did a study at a school, compared DC tap water with 3 types of bottled water, and the Fiji
This is the one.
as the out of
The
sight,
It has the most
most
nutrition
impact,
in it?
most bang for the buck and
Yeah.
the punch for plant growth.
Wow.
So that plus gravel, in 3 or 4 days, we're getting the growth you see in front of you.
Wow. And I'm envisioning great opportunity for urban gardeners without a lot of soil. And Zena, where else do you see this working well?
Oh, container gardens, people in high-rises, people that don't have a lot of area to garden. This would be revolutionary.
What do you think about in the desert Southwest, where water
That would be
is
a
at
good
premium?
idea. Richard and I were also talking about maybe in areas where food is not plentiful. This would be a great idea, especially with the microgreens that you could grow.
And is that what they're called?
Microgreens.
Greens.
Right.
They're considered to be extremely nutritious, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I'm not that much of a scientist to know why, but that's what
We
they
all
say.
ask you the hard
That's
questions.
what they say. University of Maryland did a study on this recently and found some really good results in microgreens.
That's great.
But you asked about the Southwest, and yes, this is a tool
Drought
that you use
areas,
in drought
yeah,
areas
yeah.
to actually grow grass.
So it's a green method of gardening.
Absolutely.
It's something for the future
Yes.
as water becomes even more and more scarce.
Absolutely.
What do you think about, out there, if we can grow green vegetables and plants on our rocks, would there possibly be plants growing on some other rock up in space somewhere?
Theoretically, the sedimentary nature of sedimentary rocks makes it possible. It's possible.
But who knows?
Who knows? We're not the space
So little
scientists.
green vegetables may be growing up there somewhere.
Exactly.
Well, it's a great concept. Thanks for showing us your great gravel gardening. Appreciate you coming in, Zena and Richard.
Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Again, I'm your host, Keisha Lanceland. Thank you so much for tuning in. In this segment, I have something very exciting for you. Well, it's exciting for me anyway. I'm here with Richard Campbell. He is the founder of Geological Agriculture, and he's going to teach us what that is. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me on this show. Glad to be here.
Now, what I got said, he grows food out of rocks in food deserts, and I was like, yep, nope, gotta learn more. I don't understand. I don't understand how that works. So, Richard, you gotta explain it to me.
Okay. It's rocks rolling over hunger.
Okay. How does this work?
Well, it turns out that rocks can grow your plants, period.
Plants, food that we eat.
Tomatoes,
Vegetables.
string beans, your wheatgrass, your microgreens, your peas. We teach this as part of a pilot here in Fulton County in the District 5 area. Commissioner Marvin Arrington's area over at Wolf Creek, at Bowden Center, and Oak Hill, showing people how to take rock from around them, rock from their hardware store, configure it properly. That's where science missed it, the configuration.
All right, but you could teach that, like it's not, you know, rocket science.
No,
we
it's
could
not.
do this.
It's not rocket science. It is a new science.
Okay.
Because humanity didn't think rock could do this. The whole thing is rock was inert.
Right.
Well, we're introducing a new paradigm of the living rock, because it's inert if it's dry. But if it's wet, it gives out nutrient material.
That's amazing.
Potassium, phosphorus, sodium.
And so this, and again, this didn't
Among
start
others,
because,
right.
you know, you realize this specific rock, this specific soil, this specific, no. This happened because you had a relative that dropped some watermelon seeds on some rocks in the yard, and watermelon grew. And he was like, why did that happen?
That is precisely correct. I was living with my uncle, just graduated from Morehouse, working at Bank of America on my way to Peace Corps in Mali.
Wow.
Okay, and he asked me to come outside and explain to him this phenomenon of why he was looking at a vine and a watermelon and some rocks. Wow. I was like, man, it's because the roots are in the soil underneath the rocks.
He's like, dug that up and said no.
He's like, no, I put fabric under here last fall. This is a weed block zone. Fabric, then rocks to make it look nice, like many people do. But he was eating seeds, a watermelon back when it had seeds. Remember how watermelon had seeds? They dropped by mistake. Next thing you know, there was a watermelon.
That's crazy. And from that, you started doing research.
Well,
you started learning.
I came out with the theory at that time that rocks are minerals and nutrients are fertilizers. They're at least cousins.
Yeah.
He said, okay, took it, bought more rocks, bought more seeds, and started growing plants for the neighborhood. And for 10 years, fed everybody in the neighborhood. String beans, cucumbers, squash, all types of kale, all types of crops.
I'm so excited because, again, what you're saying is there doesn't need to be food deserts. That's what you're saying, basically.
End of all of that.
If we know what we're doing, and we get the rocks and we properly hydrate them, and we get our little seeds, we can indeed grow our own food in our own backyard, even though there's red clay. So what? It's Georgia red clay.
Grow your own food in your basement, in your closet, 24/7, 365 for the rest of your life. You buy one bag of rocks, I'll feed you permanently. Well, the rock will feed you permanently. I'm not going to feed you permanently. The rock plus your knowledge out of the book that we teach from Riverstones Grow Plants. That's the book that we've put together along with contributions from Tennessee State University and George Washington University. And together we put the book together. Riverstones Grow Plants is available at Barnes & Noble's, Amazon, by me, Richard Campbell. And it shows you how to eat off the rock. The rules of gardening have changed.
It's so exciting. I'm so excited that Fulton County found you and bringing this to us right here in Atlanta. So now you've got to give a website because there are other people going, wait a minute.
I know. Yeah. The website is ToSoilLess.com. That's ToSoilLess.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
And sharing all this information. You guys, get out there to those workshops because, you know, it's different when you hear it than when you, I want you to get the book too and read it for yourself and get all of your knowledge. But maybe if you go to a workshop and you can actually see and touch and feel and see how, it's fascinating. It's really fascinating. I'm so excited that I was able to have Richard on the show, and I'm excited for you guys to learn a little bit more. Go to the website, go on IG, do all your social media, but learn a little bit more because we could feed each other. We could feed food deserts in Atlanta are so horrible. We could do better. So please take the opportunity to learn a bit more, and let's all do better together.
Welcome back to District Dialogues. In our D5 Spotlight, we give recognition to organizations and individuals who are striving to empower our communities and our county. Our next guest is Mr. Richard Campbell, the inventor and author of ToSoilLess. Welcome to the show, Mr. Campbell.
Thanks for having me on the show today, Commissioner Harrington.
I guess first off, what is ToSoilLess?
So ToSoilLess is the name of the company I created to bring geological agriculture to the world. Now then that begs the question, what is geological agriculture? So it's really about geological agriculture. ToSoil is just the name of a company. Geological agriculture is the study of growing plants and rocks without soil and fertilizers, permanently indoors or outdoors, in a nutshell.
So can the plants grow to be healthy without soil and rocks and water alone?
So so my family's been doing this for about 25 years since we accidentally discovered it in 1993. And we have figured out that river rock or sedimentary rock is capable of supporting plant life. You put a seed in sedimentary rock, configure the way we say configured in this book, Riverstones Grow Plants, and you will have a mature plant growing in that river rock.
So, wait a minute, I'm confused. Why are we just now hearing about this? I mean...
Well, the scientists of yesteryear studied rocks in the soil. You know, a long time ago, pre-modern science, the soil agriculture world was run by geologists. The definition of soil is crushed rock and humus. It was given to soil by a geologist. In the 1930s, some scientists from Virginia and Russia, ironically, concluded that soil was different than the rock next to it, and that the rock next to it couldn't produce plant life. And so rocks that are land-based rock, igneous and metamorphic, were then determined incapable of supporting plant life, and all of society moved to using soil only, which we were using since humanity began, but then no one ever looked at rocks from the water. We found out by accident 25 years ago.
Wow. I guess it makes sense that if you have sedimentary rocks, that those sediments that have grown into or on the rocks would be sustainable for plant life. What are some of the benefits of geological agriculture?
Well, with geological agriculture, you don't need soil and fertilizer, one of the key ingredients that's costly. It reduces your weeding costs, reduces your watering costs because of the way it's designed and set up. You can grow a variety of plant types to full term. You can use it indoor and outdoors, which means that you can garden 24/7, 365 indoors. We also allow you to do winter gardening so that you can have nutrition during the winter. So there are a variety. Also, it lasts a lifetime. So once you set it up at your home, inside or out, and you know how to manage it well, which we kind of lay it out in the book, Riverstones Grow Plants, you're able to manage your family's nutrition for the long term.
And so we're looking at doing a pilot program for geological agriculture in District 5 here in Fulton County. What are you hoping to achieve with this?
Well, what we want to achieve is to inform the population that the river rock and sedimentary rock around them that they can buy at their local hardware stores like Ace Hardware can produce plants for you and their families for a lifetime, and that the plants are nutritious and that you now can have other alternative means to provide your family with nutrition and foods that you like. And so we're trying to basically make people aware that the rocks of the earth do more than you know.
Well, I love it. It sounds like you're teaching people a new way to fish and not just providing them fish. I hope that this will work to help us with our food desert problem here in Fulton County.
Precisely. And that metaphor, the way we apply it is we will teach you how to fish and provide you a pond that you can fish from for a lifetime. And once you understand how to use river rock, you're able to do just that. You can grow your food for a lifetime using the rock that you purchased once. So this is somewhat like a permanent pond of food.
I love it. It's taking advantage of your natural resources, right?
Precisely.
And putting them to work. Where can people find your book? How can people contact you?
Well, our website is ToSoilLess. That's ToSoilLess. ToSoilLess. That's also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. You can order the book there, Riverstones Grow Plants. Here's how it looks. You can also get it at Barnes & Nobles or on Amazon. It's $40 at Barnes & Nobles on Amazon. You read it, you will know what to do, or a $20 download on our website, ToSoilLess.com.
Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm excited about this pilot program, and I look forward to seeing great things from geological agriculture and ToSoilLess.
Thank you for having us in Fulton County.
Stay with us, everyone. We have a special guest in our art segment. We look forward to seeing you.
This is timely. I know somebody like you has to be aware of what's going on to our soil. how we're losing our nutrients. I mean, in fact, people are like, well, our food doesn't have the same nutrients. We're not getting the minerals and nutrients that we need anymore because we're finding out because our soil doesn't have the mineral nutrients. At least the topsoil doesn't have it like it used to. And we know why, and we don't have to get into the reason why with all the metals coming down from the earth from the chemtrails and the glyphosates being put out in the air now, not just in the soil, and dehydration of everything. It's just whatever the case may be. It's not the same. That's just the bottom line. And we're not getting the minerals and nutrients that we need. So is that what drove you to try to find an alternative, or was there just kind of you fell upon it?
More the latter versus the former. It was an accident. This is the quintessential accidental discovery that was accidentally done in 1993, really. And then I figured it out.
All right.
Rocks are not inert.
Rocks are not inert. That's the $1 million education right there, right? Sorry. Rocks are not inert. Now, explain inert to people who are not science-minded.
Well, I mean, you hear the phrase "rocks are inert." You barely know what it means, but you know it kind of means they cannot provide life for plants.
Right.
You can't get anything out of them.
Yeah.
The conventional thought of rock is that you cannot get anything out of them.
Well, this is a phenomenal discovery. Why is it maybe? Why isn't it all over the science journals and the Fox and MSNBC and CNN? Well, I know the reason. You don't have to go there, but because the truth. They think suppressing the truth. All it does is like putting your finger in a dam. Another hole is going to pop open. Then you put another finger. You're trying to stop the truth, and then another hole is going to pop open. And before you know it, you have this truth coming everywhere. But the problem is if it's not seen or put through the main media process. Unfortunately, we still have a sheeple mentality where they're so programmed into the mainstream media to be the truth that they won't really open up. And one reason why we're here having a conversation with you.
Welcome to geological agriculture, a patented new science to grow plants. No soil, no fertilizers. The Gravel Grow Cup. Sustainability in a box. Gravel, seed, sand, aerated cup and drip tray. First add sand, then gravel. Add your favorite seeds, a little bit more gravel. Add water and watch. With a half cup of water and CFL lights, Logan's pea shoots are in the lead. Whoa! At day 10, Sylvia's garden beans have now taken the lead. Looks like I'm giving this race to Sylvia. Looks like Sylvia's gonna win at 20 inches in 22 days. But Logan gets the eat now because his pea shoots are edible. Give the gift of sustainability. $10 per kit. Reuse for years. Go online, pick your seed type, and grow. ToSoilLess.com. That's ToSoilLess.com.